you see the man on the left.
Yep.
Yep. So
I'll call that man A.
yes, that's man A, right? So now you're going to be looking at say man B, the one next.
Where would
to
you
him.
like man? Which man would you like to pick for man B?
The one next to him. So
The next one.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's man B, right? So and then I want you to go to the very last man, and we're going to call him. We're going to call him man C, right? So he's man C.
Or not man Z. You don't want to call it man Z.
No, man C.
Man I, he is.
You want it man C, okay? Man
Yeah,
C.
so man C.
Man C.
Right. Okay. So we know that we're not obviously we're talking about perspective now. So you're saying that obviously these levels will all stay the same levels. So when man C is much smaller in perspective, his angular size is much smaller than man B, right? Yeah, man B right next to you has a bigger scale to you than man C.
Yeah.
Man C
His
is much
angular
smaller.
size will be greater than the angular size of
Okay.
man C. Yeah.
So what is it that lifts up? Is it the floor
Right,
that? So what is it that
Shall I draw-
happens?
shall I draw-
Just let me finish the
Oh, I
question.
thought you finished. I thought you keep asking
So the question is,
carrying on.
so my question is, what happens to the man? Because he gets smaller. So does the ground raise up, or does the sky fall down?
Both of those things happen. Let me show you what you would see from man A's point of view. So let's imagine this is the camera.
So they don't always stay level then. If the sky is falling down, if the sky's falling down and the floor's raising up.
Okay, I'll put some sky in here for you as well. So I'm now going to put the sky as the person sees it. So in the centre of their view, we'll take what the camera's going to see. So the centre of the camera, there'll be a man here. Now, obviously he's not going to look like he's going to look. We're going to see something like that, and in the middle. I'll put the middle of the. I'll put the middle of the thing here. There. So that's what that's my middle of my camera there.
Yeah. Okay.
And I will see.
It's a supermodel.
And
Yeah.
so the sky, the ground will come up. These people will shrink.
Yeah.
But they will shrink around the point of the camera. So they will do
The
this.
stars
Hang
didn't
on,
do
hold
that.
on. Let him do it. Let him do what he's doing. They'll shrink around the camera.
Right.
Go ahead. Now zoom in so we can see it. I want the audience to see this image.
You can't see it.
I want you to zoom in. Keep going.
Right.
So
Yeah.
is
Keep going.
his head lower? Is B's head? Don't move B's head again, right? So is B's head? Is B's head lower in perspective than C's head?
No, C's is lower than B.
C's is lower. But
Thank-
the camera,
thank you very much.
Remember, I've lined up the camera.
Has to be, right?
Yeah.
I've lined up the camera.
So
if I
how
draw
are
the
they-
eyes, if I draw the eye, remember I've drawn this the view of the camera.
Yeah.
I've drawn from the view of the camera.
Okay.
So the cameras will be in the same position.
Right, let me finish my point. We know your point, Rumpus. So now put Z in. So now I want you to get number Z. So Z is like number 500 down the line, right? So now put Z in. You don't have to put the Z in for crying out loud. You don't have to do that.
You're an idiot, Planty. I can't leave any room for you to get anything wrong because you're so stupid. I have to.
I think you need to do that for yourself, Rumpus, not for us.
So they said. So then, if I go to here,
Yeah.
Z will appear.
Z has to be like a pixel.
Yeah, it will be much smaller. So if I then copy this,
So now get 1 pixel.
well, not one pixel's going a bit far.
No, because
Well-
he's going to be 17 miles away. Zed's going to be 17 miles away. So I want him to be 1 pixel.
Ranty, I have a brilliant. After you're ready, I have a brilliant
What do I do with that number of pixels?
gotcha for Rumpus.
Right.
Just drawing a pixel isn't going to be terribly helpful.
All right, well, get him down to 4 pixels then, because obviously you've got too many pixels there. Get him down to 4
No,
pixels.
I'm picking on this size.
Why don't you want to put him to 4 pixels, Rumpus?
Because I just draw. Well, you won't be able to see anything then.
Thank you very much. There we go. Proof.
Gee, thanks, Rumpus.
Finally, well done.
He doesn't even
You're
understand
welcome.
what he said.
He doesn't understand it, does he?
I want to turn into a tiny 1 pixel. Okay, if you want me to draw in 1 pixel, I'll put in 1
Because
pixel.
he's thinking
There
about
we
it
go.
from his paradigm. He doesn't-
So okay. So you've done 1 pixel, so that's 1 human. Now I want you to put a group of people there, please. So imagine that Z is a family of people. So there's a group of people. There's like 6 of them out together enjoying life in the Corona times because you can only meet in groups of 6.
Side by side, are they?
So yes, they're side by side. So now I want you to put 6
Make sure you put their masks
Yeah.
on.
I'll make them.
But hang on, Rumpus. Don't be disrespectful, Rumpus.
No, just Pete.
Slightly wider. There we go.
Right, there we go. So now you can't tell who's who. You don't know what smudge is who, what pixel's who. It's all just blended into one different thing, even though there's a group of 6 different people there, right?
So what? So what?
Now you're understanding perspective. Zoom back into the model that you've just drawn, so what we were going through before with the pixels, B and C. Yeah, zoom into that, please. Right. So, do you see where you've placed the group of 6 people? Can you show the audience where the group of 6 people is? Right? Okay, so anything underneath that is what? The ground, and everything above that is the sky, right? So, did the ground raise to eye level?
Yes, on a flat Earth. Yes. If you go far enough away, everything will become it will go.
No, anytime.
In any model, it didn't matter. Globe.
No, if it goes away, no, it won't.
Did the ground raise to eye level?
If you're in this situation here on a flat Earth, then yes, it would.
Can you go back, zoom
No,
back
you
into
drew
the...
that as Earth, as what we see normally.
You
drew that as reality.
But that doesn't happen.
Go back in, zoom back in, and show
You
us.
just drew reality, Rumpus.
Did
This is not what happens in reality.
did the people and the group of
Yes, it
people,
is.
did they raise themselves to eye level?
Yeah, it is.
The image is eye level. It's the image of the camera. Yes, if it's the same point, I've drawn them centered around their own camera. So those people there, I've centered them on the cameras. I'm assuming all these people are exactly the same as here, and they have cameras, and I'm looking at. I've aligned myself with their cameras. So although it's very small, I've aligned with the camera. But obviously they've become so small, they all merge into that point. But this is exactly what we don't see. This is the reason we know we don't live on a flat Earth. Because if you do see things going for the distance, they don't do this. You will find that things drop.
Those 6 little mini rumpuses got you, Rumpus.
Rumpus, you were drawing.
Rumpus. That's why
You were drawing reality there, Rumpus.
If you have an auto level, or you look at an app on your phone that shows you horizontal, you will see that in the distance the horizon drops below the horizontal, and therefore we know we're not on a flat Earth. It's very simple.
Rumpus, you just drew reality. We weren't talking about on a flat plane when you started to draw that. We were just talking about what you see in reality.
From Globusters, tell Rumpus I am going to highlight his revelation this Sunday on Globusters.
Awesome. Yeah, make sure you get the sound bites that he did before.
Shout out, Bob.
So Rumpus, can you now place an inferior mirage in? No, on the one you've just drawn. You know the
perspective view.
The perspective view. Yeah. So draw the you know. In actual fact, how about we use? You see that pink line that you've put in.
Yeah.
If we was to say that was the region where the inferior mirage was happening, right? So
Right.
yes. So would things get lost in the inferior mirage?
They would. Yes, they would.
Okay.
Excellent.
Perfect. So and things would disappear from, you know, I mean, if that was the floor, obviously, if we go back to that image that you just drew,
Nice.
just go back to that image. Yeah, that one. Zoom in. So now if you had a boat that was disappearing further away, so it was going further away, it was sitting on the floor, obviously, and obviously it would get smaller and smaller, a bit like the group of 6 people. Eventually, that boat would just sink into the inferior mirage. It would just disappear inside of that, wouldn't it?
It would have to.
It would. Hang on, no, let's get that from Rumpus himself. It would.
But the thing is, we see visions of boats like this, where we see the bottom of it cropped, and we see it above the
I would say.
and below. And then mirage will just chop off a little bit here, but we will see lots of it above, and we know, for instance, the length, the height of the boat, and we will know that it's bottom.
You only see.
Therefore, we know that the Earth's curved because we know where the
Hold
bottom's
on. You only ever see boats disappearing from the bottom up with physical water obstruction from under about 30 meters of observational height. Anything above that, you always see it disappear into the inferior mirage.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
Depends how big it is. Take a mountain.
Doesn't matter how big it is. Doesn't matter how big the boat is. It always disappears into the inferior mirage. Rumpus.
Well, ultimately, yes. Ultimately, it gets far enough away. But before that happens, this is what you didn't
Oh,
understand.
no, hold on. What do you mean? I thought it goes behind Earth curve, Rumpus.
Yeah, how did it come back from behind Earth curve to then disappear?
You always have to consider it when it gets down to a pixel, and therefore it's the same size of the image. But what you don't like to talk about...
But it already went behind the curve.
Again, what you don't like to talk about, and I told you your videos, this is why you're called the best globe Earth prover, because you've got all these images of boats where we know where the bottom is, because we can see the top, we know where the bottom is going to be, and it's underneath behind the horizon.
Oh, is it? That's very wrong there, actually. I don't think I've ever filmed a boat behind physical water. Not in my location. No. In fact, I'm going to have a look now.
You're talking over him, Rumpus.
Yeah.
So, I videoed it. So, which video was that? Can you link me the video?
Okay, let me go and check. I meant to do this the other day when you challenged me on this.
Yeah, go ahead and link me the video, please.
Give me 2 minutes to...
Okay, so is this disappearing behind Earth curve? Is that boat behind Earth curve right now? The Rumpus. Sorry, I'm sharing my screen. It's literally the first image, the first video that's just on my desktop, and I saw a boat on it, and I thought, oh, I'll play that. Excellent, right? So,
keep that shot.
Oh,
right, do we have an image of this boat?
Forget about that, Rumpus. What do you see?
Hold on,
Hold on.
Yes.
Do we have an image of this boat when we could see all of it?
Yes. Yes, we do. So first of all, okay,
let's look at what it looks like.
So what I do is I go higher up. So that's me lower down.
Oh wow, it's blue.
That's me lower down.
Yeah.
That's me lower down. Hold on.
Still behind the horizon.
That's me. That's behind the horizon. Where's the
Oh,
horizon?
Rumpus.
Where's the physical obstruction?
Yeah, what's going on here, Rumpus?
Well, hold on. Okay, so I'll show you from higher up. So there's from higher up. It's the Stena line. It's the Stena line boat. It's the.
Still behind the horizon. I want it to be. I want you to be higher,
Where's it? Where's it behind the horizon, Pete?
Well, I think it's I think it's just behind the horizon. Just.
So hang on. So where's the?
Higher up, I want it to be closer.
No, let me just clarify what you're saying. So where in this image is the horizon? If you could see it.
It's difficult. It's somewhere between the fold line and the.
Ah, right. You see, so now you're going back to, and this is what I was saying to you, Peachy. Now he's going back to saying where the inferior mirage is where the horizon is. Yeah, he's just turned around and said that the water's causing. He said the water's not causing anything of it. And when we went to here and we looked at this part of the video, and I said, "Well, where's the boat?" He said it's behind the horizon. I said, "So where's the horizon?"
No, let him expand on that. Let him clarify.
Yes.
Jesus Christ! I'll not be able to get a bloody word.
Like, clarify, Rumpus.
Be quiet. Number one.
Isn't it funny he's the only one getting triggered?
Be quiet. I haven't been able to comment on this. Number one. Everything is raised up by standard refraction. So when you're talking about where you think the geometric horizon is, it's not. It's going to be lower down, somewhere below, quite a bit below where the visible water appears to be, because everything is raised up by standard refraction.
So let me clarify what you just said. Just
clarify, Rumpus. Rumpus and Randy only. I'm going to mute.
Pete, do I have to mute you? Right, listen. So let me just clarify. I want to clarify some of the words that you've just said. When you said everything is lifted up due to refraction, what do you mean by that? 7/6R. Everything. What do you mean by the word everything?
Everything you can see is higher up than it actually is if it didn't have a
Okay, cool. So the water's so the water's lifted up then.
Yes, you moron.
Cool.
I've been explaining this to you for about 3 years.
So let me just clarify. So the horizon is lifted up, and so let me just clarify.
Rumpus, some of us are wearing headphones.
Let me just clarify. So the horizon is lifted up, and the boat is lifted up. So if they're both lifted up by a 7/6R, so they're both lifted up, there is no looming.
Well, that is, well, it depends what
There is no looming, Rumpus. If they're both loomed up at the same rate, there cannot be any looming.
There is. The distance between you further
It
away.
can't happen.
Listen, more.
If they're all loomed up by 7/6R.
Even with standard refraction,
Yeah.
things in the distance are raised up more than the things.
No.
with you. Yes,
No,
you've got to
no, they're all
understand
raised up by
more.
7/6R. Everything
and
is
that causes
no.
things to be more raised up further
No,
away.
it would have to be
Now,
greater than
it's
7/6R,
wrong.
Rumpus.
No,
It would have to be greater than to lift it above the 7/6R refraction of the horizon. Yes, it does.
Rumpus, stop.
You just said 30 seconds ago, Rumpus, they all lift up even.
You just said that.
30 seconds
You are
ago.
a moron. You don't understand refraction. There has to be.
No one can hear anything, though.
Yeah,
Come on.
so
Yeah,
I'm muting him for a
this is
time being
getting
till he
into a shit
calms down. What Rumpus is saying here is that everything we see is loomed up and loomed up by 7/6R standard refraction. That means that the water is lifted up by 7/6R, and so is the boat, right? So both of these objects are lifted up by the same amount, right? Which is why you can never ever get looming. And this is what Rumpus doesn't understand. He will try to tell you that 7/6R on the boat is different to 7/6R on the water, because the further away something is, it has greater, it works out greater, even though it's still the same calculation. Utter bollocks, and he knows it, and that's why he's screaming, and that's why he's been called out. This all started with him saying that I film boats going over Earth curvature, right? And I said that doesn't happen. It goes into the inferior mirage where I live, where we have the flat topography of the land underneath the water. We don't have any of these deep crevasses and slopes that causes any kind of shoaling effect. So we don't get to see that, especially here. I don't film boats physically hidden by water. I always film boats that have an inferior mirage. End of story, and that is the truth. I don't film boats with physical water obstruction. In different places in the world, like Hawaii and Australia and things like that, you do see that, but you only ever see that from low down, anything under 30 meters. As soon as you go to about 35 meters and you film a boat, it never goes behind a physical barrier of water. It always ends up inside of an inferior mirage, and that's what happens. And he doesn't like that, and the Globers don't like to address that either. Go up to an elevation of 40 meters, let's say, film a boat, right, and tell me it goes behind a physical wall of water. You won't get that. It will disappear into an inferior mirage.